This episode is special. This episode is personal. It is the story of someone who I've grown up with, my sister, and I have been fortunate to watch this journey with my own eyes. Mitali, I haven't told you this enough. There's a saying, Ghar ki murgi dal barabar. I probably haven't told you this till date, but your story is something that I really admire and really look up to, and I would want the whole world to know your story.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So let's just jump in straight away. School wasn't a very great journey for you, because of your learning disability. It wasn't something that you look forward to. It wasn't a good experience. Can you just shed some light on that?
Yeah, so yeah, as you said, school was probably one of the hardest periods of my life. And, the whole thought of going to school just made me cringe. I'm probably one of the few people who hated school in comparison to you and my sister Pooja, who like y'all loved school. But I, on the other hand, really just did not want to go. And a lot of it, yes, was because the learning disability factor of it. Because when I was growing up, there wasn't so much knowledge about it, there wasn't so much enlightenment, and there wasn't so much understanding towards children with special needs. So when I had to explain myself, or when I had to kind of get into it and be a good student, I was not. And nobody really tried to get to the bottom of that until probably the 5th or the 6th grade, when when they did have like a school counselor and things like that. But that didn't make my peers any more sympathetic towards me. My Some teachers probably understood while others didn't, but mostly it was a lack of understanding. And same with my peers as well. Like, kids, they don't really get into it or understand why you are different from them, whether it be your color or your language or your eating habits or your learning disability. Children don't really are not empathetic enough unless and until they are taught how to be like that. So I'm really grateful that today more and more awareness is being generated towards learning disability. There's more acceptance, children are being more sensitive. And in my case, yeah, till today I hate mornings, and like I really don't like to get up in the morning because of that compulsion I always felt to have to face the day, so early, and go, like fight your demons so early in the morning. So it's kind of like a trauma for me. But I would also say it gave me the strength and the thick skin to pursue on, and kind of push myself to be somebody, to get out there and do exactly what I wanted. Like, me as a person, I do not consider myself someone who would take anyone's bullshit, or my friend, sorry. But I'm a direct person. I like to, like, that thick skin has really helped me to be happy go lucky, tell people off on their face if I have to, walk away from a situation if I need to. That um like the experience of school did that for me. So I am thankful on one end, and I'm also traumatized on the other. So yeah, but it was tough. It was really tough.
I know exactly what you're saying because I remember for a fact that there were people in school who used to, call you a failure, say that you wouldn't have a future. So on that note, would you mind sharing that what is the maximum that you have been paid for a 1 day shoot? And there's a reason I'm asking this.
So I would say the thing about shoots is that there are one-offs where you sometimes get lucky and you get paid really, or like you said, tukka maar liya and you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a quite a big sum, and it was quite early on in my career as well. For an ad shoot, I can't name the specifics, but for an ad shoot, I got paid 4 lakhs, and at that point, I was probably like 4 years into my career, 3 or 4 years into my career. So it was a huge, like a lucky, break for me.
Right. I know you're just being modest about that, but the whole point of saying this was that 4 lakh rupees, I'm sure most of the peers who picked on you in school aren't earning that even in a month today. So that's what I wanted to bring out from this.
I mean, I'm sure that they are doing well in their own capabilities, but and many of them maybe have their own businesses and they could be making that amount of money. But for me personally, I always weigh myself against myself. Like, I have never been somebody who will be like, oh, so if this person is making so much, then I should be making so much. For me, it was a really happy coincidence that I ended up making the amount I made.
Okay, so coming to the profession, how did you end up picking this profession of being a makeup artist?
I think it was somewhere very deep down. It has a very emotional connect with me because, as you know, we lost our Bua very young, and she was probably one of the classiest, most well put out woman that I have ever seen. And even at the age of 6 or 7, I used to really admire the way she looked all the time. And sorry, that kind of made me want to understand why and how she did it. So I would sit at her mirror and I would watch her, like I would watch her do her makeup. And since that time, the artisticness of it and the delicacy of it and the very, you know, the effort that you put in, you can see the gratification instantly. So that was something that really spoke to me. And since then, it has always been at the back of my mind somewhere that I wanted to do this. But along the way, I also gained a lot of experience through just doing people's makeup. Like, I would just do it for fun, and I understood that I liked it. I liked how it felt to make somebody feel powerful, to make somebody feel good. And in that, somewhere I found my calling. And through doing it, being in mass media also exposed me a lot to it, because all the fashion shows in my college, I would end up doing the makeup and hair for it, and I really enjoyed it. It was more like a stress buster for me than like work. And till today, I think it is that, when someone asks me what my passion is or what my hobbies are, I don't really have anything else to say, because my passion and my hobby is my work only. So, I don't really have anything else apart from it.
Okay, so we've spoken about the fun side and how rewarding this profession can be, but what are some of the challenges that you face in your profession?
Well, I mean, challenges are galore. You face challenges every single day, whether it be an AD knocking at your door constantly to ask you how much more time, or uh, like trying to convince a production house to give you your money, which is well deserved, and it is your, like, you have worked for it, but still they consider it a, oh, like, for them it's like a baat rahe hain hum kind of thing, which is not true, because you have worked hard enough that when they take so long, and that is a very irritating factor. Then, whether it be a difficult client, sometimes you do end up getting not just actors but also like normal people who kind of get on your nerves at times. And all of those things, dealing with it, learning how to handle it with finesse and with compassion, is a very hard part, and it does mentally drain you, because when you're a creative person, you don't want to focus on other things other than just creating. You don't
Right,
want the politics, you don't want all of that in your face when you're trying to just be an artist.
right. And I've seen you make a lot of personal sacrifices as well. For most of the family weddings, you couldn't make it because you had some commitments, some prior work commitments.
Oh yeah, I mean, the amount of times when I have bowed out either because I was just too tired from a day of shoot, or I was already on shoot. And considering the fact that I'm getting a third bride ready when, say, my own sister's getting married, like cousin sister's getting married, or someone in my family is getting married, it is a hard sacrifice to make. And some people understand it, some people don't. Some people think of it as frivolous, that oh, she could have just like rescheduled her work, or she could have been there. It's just, why would she not? But there is a certain level um uh, of professionalism that you just can't give up when it comes to something like this. So no matter how important your family is or your friends are, there are times you have to give up on all of that to be able to just do your work, and you have to just do it. You don't have a choice really in the matter.
Right. And what has
So
been your most fun experience on set?
I honestly, I have fun all the time. I love being on set because there are so many people that you interact with, so many people that you meet every single day, and from that arises many, many fun stories. So I'll give you a few instances. Like, once we were on set shooting for a certain ad film, where the actor and all of us just broke into a very random song sequence because we were all just bored. So like like just in the middle of everything, the actor and her team are just dancing and singing while the rest of them are trying to get everything organized. So that's something. Then sometimes you're so tired that your mind just shuts down, and you do the craziest things, like we were doing makeup and hair, and suddenly my actor is going round and round on her chair just for fun. So things like that, like, and we always have like good food around us. And so there are so many fun things that you kind of forget outside life when you're on set. And you forget if there's anything stressful going on or anything, you just forget all of it because you're so enthralled in where you are. And yeah, so these were some experiences. There are lots more which I can't really remember, but like, for instance, once on set we had a pani puri, like a full chart setup. Like, there was a pani puri guy like literally on set, and we were like, and like, he was serving us while the shoot is going on. It was like, for us it was a lot of fun because who does that? And we had a masseuse on one of our sets where, like, you could just go get a leg massage. It was a night shoot, so everyone was tired. We were doing like 5 nights or something. So we had a masseuse who just, like, would give you leg massages. You go and put your name in the list, and then whenever you're tired, you come get your massage. So yeah, so there are a lot of fun things that happen on set.
And one final question. What is your advice for the budding makeup artists? Like, for people who want to join this industry, what's your advice for them?
Uh, just be prepared to work really, really hard. If you have family commitments, or you have a timeline, or you are just newly married, or you're having a kid, just wait till you have the right amount of time to give. Because even though this career is super rewarding, you still have to make a lot of personal sacrifices. And you need to, and if you're someone who's time sensitive, and you want your rewards instantly, this is not the career for you. It takes some time for your hard work to start giving you the kind of outcome that you would require from, like, to be a makeup artist. You have to really put in some grit, especially now that every second person is becoming a makeup artist. So the competition is a dime a dozen. Whether they are good or bad doesn't matter, it's still your competition.
Right, right.
And if you want to win, you have to just, like, be stuck and, like, persevere like hard, like, really just give it your all. But I guess that is the same in every career, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all good things take time, but
Exactly.
like you said, that it's becoming a very popular career option. So in your industry, you have to be relevant and you have to be updated in order to, still get work.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Being relevant, like the kind of impact that social media plays on like a makeup artist career is phenomenal. Like, you, for someone like me who's technologically challenged, it is so hard to be relevant when you don't know how to work your iPhone to its maximum also.
right,
So that, and I mean that you just have to keep updating yourself and be that good.
right, right. Okay, before we depart, just one thing I would like to tell you is that you did not fail school, school failed you. If
Yeah,
schools make people like you who are so talented just because you're not academically inclined feel like a failure, it is not on you. And I'm so glad that you fought back and you didn't sort of go into a shell and give up and go with the label of someone who's a failure or a weak student. You fought through all odds and here you are. So thank you
that's
so
true.
much.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a really fun little chat,
Thank
and
you.
I'll see you soon next
See
door.
you soon next door in the other room.